You said that you effed a whole platoon.
Oh, yeah.
How many dudes did you sleep with?
Probably at that time, like 20.
The whole platoon. Was it the
Yeah,
whole?
it was a lot.
What span of time was this in?
This was a span of like 20 and maybe 1 week.
How did they all
81.
feel about it? Were they like fist bumping one another? Did any
Yeah,
of them
they
like
would bring
you?
me new guys.
Yet another example of fatherless behavior. Let's roll the tape.
If you leave a good man to go and have a hoe phase, don't you dare complain when you can't find a good man in the future. Don't you dare complain. And if you're that guy that got left, you're a fool if you take her back.
That's right, never take her back. Never consent for her to go on a break. If she wants a break, then she wants a breakup. Don't sit around and wait for her to have fun with all the guys and then when she's ready, she wants to come back to you. No, remember that you did not need a 2-week break or a 4-week break or a 6-week break or a 4-month break for that matter to decide if you wanted to be with this girl. Why does she want to have a break to decide that she wants to be with you? Why does she need to find herself when you did not need to find yourself? No, a break is never okay. The moment she tells you that she wants to find herself, it is just her way of telling you that she wants to sleep around and then come back to you later because you're the safe option. Never allow that.
Thanks.
Can someone explain to me how, if women are supposedly more emotionally intelligent and can regulate their emotions and have so much self-awareness compared to men, why do they need hoe phases, situationships, and rosters after a breakup?
It's because they get the free validation from the next guy or the next set of guys. It's all dopamine at the end of the day and it feels good. That's just instant gratification. What they don't realize that these guys are not necessarily looking for a relationship. They're just lurking, lying in wait for their opportunity. Seeing a girl that's vulnerable, then they take advantage. That's usually how it goes.
If you're able to regulate your emotions and have self-awareness, then you don't need to use your body for self-worth to get under people and lower the bar and lower your standards so low that you end up being promiscuous. Having 3+ bodies a month, you cannot convince me that you're more emotionally intelligent if you are participating in any of that kind of behavior because you are risking STDs, pregnancies, and actually sleeping with people that you don't even know. And then what happens when you get pregnant? You're gonna get on the internet and cry about, oh my God, I didn't even know he was like this. He was so abusive. I tried to make the relationship work. Blah, 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 and it's all this victimhood, even though you're in celebration for being divorced or separated or going through a breakup. But then the worst part about it is a lot of these women come online and brag about their rosters and their situationships. Some are even single mothers with 2 young kids at home talking about situationship, oh, this guy and that guy, and they can't understand why when they meet the one or someone they want to settle down with, he wants nothing to do with her because she's promiscuous. It is not cute. And if you're so emotionally intelligent, then you would actually know how unhealthy it is to sleep around and promote your body like some kind of bicycle.
Which get a lot of rides but no proper maintenance.
Okay, bye.
We don't get a lot of free time as men these days, so thank you so much for watching my video and checking out my content. If you're enjoying the video and my content so far, please consider subscribing and drop a like on this video so we can reach more people.
You said that you effed a whole platoon.
Oh, yeah.
How many dudes did you sleep with?
Probably at that time, like 20.
The whole platoon. Was it the
Yeah,
whole?
it was a lot.
What span of time was this in?
This was a span of like 20 and maybe 1 week.
How did they all
81.
feel about it? Were they like fist bumping one another? Did any
Yeah,
of them
they would
like
bring
you?
me new guys. They would be like, Jeannie, the next batch is here. Like, and then he would stay for me like after work, and I'd be like, we go into my car, and like we would go to my car after work, like do it.
And then
Yeah.
how did that translate
fine
into, yo, you should sleep with my whole platoon?
It was like, bring your friends to eat some wings, and then I was like, oh, they're cute, and he was like, I was like, put me on, and he like put me on, and then he like put me on another, and put me on another, and then they put me on a whole nother batch that would come in, and I was just going a little crazy then.
How long ago was this?
Did
You're
you
21,
get-
right?
Yeah, this was like when I was, I feel like you can't say that. It was younger.
What's your relationship like with your dad?
I do have daddy issues.
No surprise there. I mean, most girls with good relationships with their dads don't turn out like this because they know a love of a father, they know a love of a man from their father, so they don't have to try to seek it elsewhere in the form of multiple guys.
Hi guys. Every single time a new man enters into a woman, she becomes less emotionally available. The term hoe phase might come off as a strong phrase for some people, but it describes a period of many modern women's lives. And unfortunately, it relates to a very real reality about dating and relationships today. The majority of girls grow up and are thrown into a world that values them for their beauty and sexuality without them having to actually put in any effort. This causes an inflated sense of self and places an extreme importance on the need of being wanted and desired. So women start leading with their sexual alter ego. They start equating their value to their sexual desirability. Just a few decades ago, girls would use their innate maternal and wifely skills when getting a quality man to commit to them. But now that all standards on social conduct have completely come off and sleeping around is more socially acceptable than ever before, a lot of women have fell into the trap of self-gratification and impulsive pleasure with complete disregard for its consequences later on in life. Sleeping around for women in their youth is way too easy, and it's hard to respect something that comes too easy. Even from a biological and evolutionary standpoint, a life of sexual escapades with multiple men without any kind of emotional involvement is the antithesis of the female mating strategy. In other words, a woman sleeping around goes against natural law.
I'm gonna let her cook. I don't want to interrupt her too much, but I think something she said was very interesting. When women diminish their value by being with a lot of men, it makes them very undesirable to the rest of us, because what we desire is purity. So when too many men have had their hands on that woman, or too many men have been inside that woman, it's not a woman that we want to be with. It's not a woman that we want to build a life with, because it makes them harder to pair bond, it makes them harder to connect, and it doesn't make overall for a better connection when that is the case.
Scarcity creates value, and girls are depleting their value by making themselves too easily available to men. They don't realize what's waiting for them at the end of an exciting 10 years or so. They're met with a ruined reputation and a slaughtered self-image. All of their encounters with men has led them to believe that all men want is one thing and that all men are the same, because her perception of men is now extremely skewed. For men who are looking for a woman to date or marry, understand that if her past is a trail of failed relationships and one-night stands, it's safe to draw a few inferences about whether or not she's really even worth your time. Women bond with the man they sleep with, and they develop an emotional connection, which is absolutely necessary from an evolutionary perspective. But this ability to bond stops coming into fruition when she repeatedly treats sex as nothing more than a physical need to fulfill, with absolutely no emotions involved. This is why you have women who can treat sex so casually now. If you're a man, your early 20s are a time when you start at the bottom, and you need to work to make it to the top by building yourself as a man who's attractive to women. The last thing you should ever want to do on this journey is participate in the rampant hookup culture with women who don't look at you as anything more than an addition to their notch count. This is the advice I give to all men. Resist the temptation to try to have a whole phase of your own, because it will throw you off your tracks like nothing else. Find a woman who values you for yourself and build a lasting relationship on the strong foundation of trust and love. So until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
And yes, men, we should try to level up in our 20s, focus on going back to school, learning a new skill, doubling down on your work, taking up some more hours at work, going to the gym, anything you can do to level up. Instead of chasing skirts out here, I know it's very tempting. I know you want to sow your wild oats and everything, but don't put too much of your time into women at this stage. Try to level up so that whenever you hit your prime, you have all the chips and all the cards.
In your 20s, like, who the fuck wants to get married and settle down? I want to feel the thrill. I want to be getting my head bashed in the mattress, and then I want to be getting ghosted the next day. I want to have my heart ripped out of my chest, and I want to do it all over again.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real. She belongs to the streets.
I want to get my heart broken and I want to do it all over again. No! This is the worst advice women are giving in 2025. Glamorizing getting ghosted and your heart ripped out like pain is a lifestyle and dysfunction is sexy. And to think some of you are actually listening to this, thinking it's empowering to be used, thrown out, and broken over and over again. This is exactly why modern dating is hell. Broken women create broken men, and broken men destroy families. By the time you grow out of this phase, the good men, they're already gone. Building a relationship with someone who chose peace, love, love, and loyalty early, I chose that life. I chose discipline over chaos, and now I have peace. Real peace, not a fake validation from a one-night stand. You weren't made for trauma, you were made for love. But you'll never find that if pain is your preference. So wake up. You're not being empowered, you're just being emptied.
That need to be said again and again with fierce conviction.
Women are the most dangerous thing for women, because what happens is women will tell a woman, girl, go out and live your life. So she's going to go out and live her life. She's going to fuck 20, 23, 27, 30, 35. Then she's going to get 40 and be like, damn, I want to get married. And the men that wanted you at 20, that want to marry you when you were 20, they no longer want you. They want the younger female. And so now a lot of women are bitter and mean and get on these platforms and get on YouTube. I can't find a man. They ain't shit. They ain't shit because you ain't shit pussy. I'm tired of going to parent-teacher conferences with my son, and I'm seeing all these women line up down the hallway stressed out, leaning over on the fucking wall because they don't have no man. They made a mistake 12 years ago, 13 years ago, had a one-night stand after the club or fucked the dude that they said, oh, I can only just fuck him once. And now we have 70% of black moms that don't have a man, and these boys are being raised by women. And now these women have turned these boys into son husbands. And that's when they want to settle down. When they get to 30 and 40 and 50. When they're so tired and all of their good years have been rubbed out. See what I did there? When they so run through, you can land a plane on their back. When they've been with all Toms, Dicks, and Harrys. When every guy knows what she feels like, what she sounds like, what her toes look like, and what the innermost parts of her thighs look like. And also, you can see evidence of her escapades because now she has 2 or 3 kids walking with her. And the son husband thing is a next problem. Because of course, a lot of these women want to turn their sons into their husbands. He has to pay her bills. He has to call her to remind her that he loves her. He has to buy his mom a house. Yes, a lot of these guys, when they get money, especially the NBA guys, what's the first thing they want to say? I gotta buy my mama a house. But why didn't your mom have a house? Why is your mom's bills not paid? Why does she look so lonely? Because she doesn't have a man, she didn't have a husband. But that could have been avoided. Because any man worth his salt is gonna want to put his wife and his kids in a home. Any man worth his salt is gonna want to take care of his children. So all of that could have been fixed. If she had a husband, then her bills would have been paid. The husband would have been taking her out. The husband would have been buying her food, calling her to ensure that he reminds her that he loves her. The husband would have ensured that she's in a house. But no, they want to fall to the feminist advice. They want to drink the Kool-Aid, and when the Kool-Aid gets too sweet and they're in so much pain, they want to run to the doctor to get a pill. Too late. You should have taken the right pill when you have the choice. They don't make them clean up. They don't have no structure. They don't go outside and play. They don't do nothing but sit on their asses. And then when they get older, they become the same men that their mamas hate. They're out here being Pookie and Ray Ray fucking all the females, depending on females to take care of them. It's a shame that these boys are being raised by these single moms and they taking up on the feminine characteristics of their fucking mama.
I think it's important that the ladies watching this that are going through the hoe phase don't feel bad about your hoe phase, but also don't let it be a crutch. Don't let it be the reason why you don't grow, because I'm very big on who you allow in your space and your environment will totally influence you as a person. So if long term you want marriage, you want to have that special person, at some point you cannot allow your hoe phase to be a crutch and just say, well, this is just what I'm doing, knowing in the back of your mind what you really want. There's some point where you have to look at what you're doing and how you're moving and understand that other people see that, other people recognize that. And a man is so smart when it comes to looking at a woman and knowing what that woman's potential, worth, value is. So if he looks at you and he can tell that this isn't a phase, it's just how you move, and there's nothing that he can look at beyond that, where do we go from here? So enjoy your hoe phase. Don't feel bad when you're going through it, but also don't get too comfortable, because you will stay there.
If you don't have your hoe phase when you're like 18 to like 22, you're gonna have it when you're like mid 30s. And also, a hoe phase isn't necessarily a I'm gonna go fuck everybody. It's more of like, I'm gonna go mingle, I'm gonna go date, I'm gonna go meet people. It doesn't have to be like sleeping with everyone you see.
There's a difference between like a fuck boy and someone who just like has sex a lot, because like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
that's that's actually
you're not like you're not treating anybody wrong. You're just doing your thing and not really settling down, which is cool. It's the difference when a guy's like leading you on, treating you like crap, and then still doing things on the side.
I love that you said that because I feel like there's two differences. There's the fuck boy and then there's the rico suave.
Oh,
Rico suave is just somebody who has that appeal, is charismatic, is a ladies man, but will always treat the ladies, nice. But you already know he's not looking for anything serious or long term. He makes it clear, but every time you're with him, he makes it feel like this is gonna be a great time. I'm gonna treat you nice, take you out to eat, just compliments to the chef. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the fuckboy is like, take my plate back, even though you got exactly what you wanted. You just like threw it here and there, you just picked it up and you're like, oh, actually.
The fuckboys are the Karens of the male species.
And dare I say it again, terrible advice. Just like the girl in the last video telling you that you don't have to worry, don't be ashamed of your whole face, as long as you're doing it right, you'll be okay. And then you have this guy in this clip trying to cape for the women, saying some bullshit like, if you don't have your whole face, no, you're gonna have it in your 30s. Like, what the hell, bro? You don't have to simp that hard. They're gonna still sleep with you. They are literally talking about sleeping around, and the Rico Suave is gonna sweep her off her feet, ravish her, and take her out for dinner and all that shit. Compliments to the chef. These girls are literally promiscuous. They are gonna sleep with you. You don't have to keep so hard for them, bro. Just wait until the show is over or something. And women still fall prey to this type of advice. They run up bodies in their 20s and 30s, and when they're ready to settle down, finally, nobody wants them. Shocker, right? Because the dating pool is so toxic. I swear, dating in the West, dating in the modern world is ass. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for making it so far in the video. If you like this video, please drop a like, consider subscribing, drop a comment so I can know what you think about this video, and of course, share the video so you can reach more people. Have yourself a wonderful day, and as always, help a brother out.
What are you waiting for?